Hello everyone, Hockey Guy here again for OutstandingPoker.com with a video on 3-betting, especially in the blinds, to defend at the micro games. Basically, just real quick, it's a skill you basically are going to have to develop if you want to move up levels, because the higher you get, the more positionally aware players are, and the lighter they raise you in late position. And excuse me, at some point you just simply have to learn how to defend your blinds. And you can also typically get a better hand to fold. For instance, many players will be raising with 3s, 4s, 5s in late position, but it's pretty tough for them to continue when you 3-bet them, because all they're really thinking about is set equity and implied odds, and all of a sudden they feel like that's gone down the pooper, and typically they're right, and so they'll just fold. As when you get up to Tim's levels, apparently that dynamic changes, but I'm not there yet, so we'll let him speak about that. You also want to get worse hands to fold instead of giving them position that they would like to use against you, or simply forfeiting your blind. Obviously, letting a worse hand steal your blind is not a good play, but that's what they're trying to do, and basically they're using the threat of their position against you, and you have to deny them that weapon from time to time so they do not abuse it. Because if you're sitting there with ace 10 offsuit and they're raising with, Jack 10, King 10, 9 10, 8 10, you simply can't let that continue and expect to be a winning player and move up. And so basically you have to take their position away from them by 3-betting. So I used a $100 NL example here just because the math is so easy. But basically, let's just assume it's folded to the button. They make it 4 big blinds, $4. S small blind folds. You're in the big blind. The pot is now $550. Regardless of the hands that either one of you have, the math looks like this. And this really isn't the key to it, or it wasn't for me when I was learning. Basically, it was a fact that I recognize you have to do this. You have to learn how to do this. But here's the math. After you learn how to do it, math, I think, makes more sense and makes you more comfortable with it. But basically, if I make a 3.5x 3-bet to $14, I'm risking 14 to win 5.5 right now. So I need him, if you do the math, I need him to fold 61% of the time to break even. Hence the usefulness of how often do they fold to a free 3-bet stat. If they're folding 75% of the time to a 3-bet, basically that's a built-in profit for you, and if you do not take it, that is your mistake, and you're leaving money on the table. Eventually, some players will learn to adjust, and they may recognize you're 3-betting more often or whatever, but just right from the get-go, when you see somebody that's folding 75% of the time to a 3-bet, you should be 3-betting them probably out of your comfort zone. But if they're going to fold 3 out of 4 times, built-in profit, and you don't even have to play the hand post-flop when they call. Of course, you're entitled to flop something big occasionally too and stack them. So anyhow, if the pot continues, it's $18.50, and you'd be very interested in their fold to c-bet percentage, because if you run into somebody who is folding a great deal to c-bets, then that is a useful piece of information to have. If you had somebody that was only folding 40% to 3-bets, and then only folding 25% to or I'm sorry, I said it. If you had somebody that was only folding 40% to 3-bets and only folding 30% of the time to a c-bet on the flop, obviously you're not going to be 3-betting this person light. We'll take them to Value Town, because they're just going to keep calling you down and giving you more value. So with that, we'll pop over to a couple tables and see how this plays out at some $10 and $25 no limit.